Ooh.
Yeah.
Like firing people?
I mean, I'll tell you, I always say this. I've never fired a person a day in my life.
So they had it coming.
Hey, I make the rules clear. What you need to do, follow these steps. You don't do it. At that point, you fired yourself.
And welcome back to another installment of Blue Oranges. Today we are talking about management, managing teams, managing people, all that really good stuff. And we are here talking with Mr. James Henry of Thumbprint Realty, but I will let him introduce himself. Can you tell us who you are and a little bit about what you do?
Hey, so my name is James Henry of Thumbprint Realty and also 25% owner of Flipping Bricks University. That is actually our flipping company where we actually teach people how to flip homes and also educate you through the Welp process. So, Flipping Bricks University, check us out, flippingbricks.com.club. Apologize. That's my intro. I didn't come with your intro, I'll tell you that.
Oh.
But before that, though, always remember one thing. Subscribe at the bottom, please. Please. You do that button right there to the right. No, wait, move your hand a bit to the left.
Like right.
Wait, there's an arrow.
We're not doing this again. We're not. Yes, like and subscribe down below. That way you don't miss any new content that's coming out made specifically just for you.
Exactly.
So let's hop into it. So James, today we have invited you here because we want to talk about, we know you have Thumbprint Realty. You are with Flipping Bricks University.
Yes.
Previous to that, you were a sales manager for Franklin Covey Client Sales, and you also worked in sales at T-Mobile.
That was AT&T, but okay.
Oh, my bad. AT&T. My bad, y'all. So you know a little bit about working with people.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay.
Pretty good with it.
Let's hope so. So how did you begin your management journey as someone who had no team before and then kind of transitioning into that first position?
I mean, honestly, the first time I did it, I was arrogant. I'm not gonna lie to you. What I came to learn, though, throughout the processes, don't expect people to follow you just to follow you because you're the boss. Like, if you really want to be an effective manager, start to understand who your team is first. Like, especially if you're dealing with a small team to start off, 10 or 15 people, meet with them individually. Understand what they really want to accomplish. Because again, just because your goals take your company to the next level is, what do they really want to do? Care about them. Invest in your people, and they'll invest right back into you. That's what I say when it comes to management. That was what I learned the hard way first time around.
Okay, why do you say the hard way? Like, what was hard about it for you? I know you said you were arrogant, but how did that impact your working with your team?
I mean, well, I was young at the same time. So when I say arrogant, it was, in my mind, I thought a boss is my way or the highway, do as I say, or just get out. And, excuse me? Okay.
We used to work together.
But no, so that's how I looked at it, right? From all the stuff I've seen people do. Mm-hmm. So what I had to learn was it's deeper than that. And I had to understand your team first. Your team, you want your team to win. When your team's winning, you're winning. That's how it breaks down. Simple as that. Your team will always help you out if you help them out with the right team. And build your team from that.
Okay. So what would you say is different from when you started at Franklin Covey, then transitioning to AT&T, and then later Thumbprint Realty? Like, how has it...
So, one of my favorite movies of all time, really quick, Paid in Full, right? And the reason why I love Paid in Full, everybody knows Money Making Mitch, and one of my favorite lines is, everybody eats. I'm sorry, Ace, that's Ace's line, everybody eats. So when you're on the team, how do you make everybody win? And that's from me transitioning from AT&T to Thumbprint Realty to Flipping Bricks, is everything we do is about creating a win-win atmosphere for everybody on the team.
Okay.
And not also on our team, but also our partners. So for our clients that come to us and they buy from us, how can I help you win as well? Because if you win, you'll definitely come back and you'll always recommend. So,
sure. What would you say are some of the differences between managing a team and leading people? And do you even say there's a difference?
I don't say there's a big difference.
Okay.
I think most people like to be followed. Like they want to follow someone.
Mm-hmm.
They need that strong someone that actually give them the right direction to get to the next place. So with doing that, you got to make sure that you're always clear on your goals and the team understands your goals. And if you align your goals with their goals,
Mm-hmm.
you're winning at that point. But you got to be clear. You have to make sure everyone understands. No one should come to anyone in your team and say, "Hey, what's your top 3 things you're trying to do?" And 2 people give different answers. If that happens, it's your team's falling apart.
So how would you correct something like that? Or how do you think if there's miscommunication or there's not clarity, like day to day, how do you correct something like that?
I think miscommunication comes from just not meeting with your team. I mean, I think meeting with your team means from either weekly meetings or monthly meetings, but also one-on-one coaching
Okay.
with your team members as well. Now, don't just sit there and focus on the person that's doing the best every day
Mm-hmm.
and is killing numbers, bringing everything in for you. Think about the person that's not doing the best. How can you help bring him up? Are you going to have him shadow the best person? And if that person's a weak link, something have the weak link go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like firing people?
I mean, I'll tell you, I always say this. I've never fired a person a day in my life. Ever. People fire themselves. That's my rule.
Ah.
I've never fired nobody. People fire
So
themselves.
they had it coming.
Hey, I made the rules clear. What you need to do, follow these steps. You don't do it. At that point, you fired yourself.
Okay, so I know you mentioned coaching sessions. How do you deal with that person? Let's say, because we cater and talk to creative people and artists, if they're on a design team, let's say, and you've got a collection coming out, and they are, let's say, in charge of beading and hand embroidery, and for whatever reason, their work just isn't up to par like it used to be, and you've met with them, let's say once, maybe even twice. Like, what form of coaching, or what do you think is necessary to do at this point? Because you still have clients to serve and sell, you know.
So I think you just said the underlying issue, though, right? You said it's not up to par that it used to be. So you know what their work can do at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's changed?
Okay.
Something has happened at this point, and you got to find out what's happened to cause the change. And that could be a personal issue in life, or something might be wrong with the job that's bothering her.
Mm-hmm.
And you can only find that out by that one-on-one coaching.
Okay.
So what? Take her out to lunch. Spend some money. Take her outside of the work atmosphere,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you really want to find out stuff, sometimes if you're inside the office, you're still in the boss's office, right?
Yeah.
And you're still having that conversation. Take him outside. Take him to lunch, to a nice restaurant of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
That opens him up, makes him more relaxed, and find out what's really the root to the issue. Yes, you're spending more money than you should have to, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in reality is you're losing money now because your clients are not happy with the work they're getting. So what? You take a little hit, spend a good $50 to $100 on lunch. Now you can fix the issue. Simple as that.
Sure. So, we're fixing issues in terms of coaching sessions because everyone handles constructive criticism differently. You
Yes.
have some people who can just take it, they'll fix it, and they'll move on. You have some people who are hesitant, but then eventually they'll take it and then they'll move on. But you have those tender individuals.
Yes.
You say one thing and it's just tears. Like, how do you deal with that person?
Perfect, right? One of the greatest lessons I've ever taught. Everyone is like an old school radio. You know the old school radio, you just tune in and you gotta find their station. Like, I'm like more of a 94.5 guy. Some people like a 97.7.
Yeah.
Cool? But you gotta tune into their station and you gotta find out what motivates that person, what ticks that person at the same time. So I wouldn't talk to X how I talk to Y.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you understand that person's station, then you know how to directly come at them. And that's how you get them to motivate and get them out of their funk at the same time.
Any last suggestions or strategies for creatives who are in a position of leadership moving forward with their team?
Your team represents you always. So make sure your team is properly trained and they have your best interests at heart. And that only happens if you have their best interests at heart. So just stay on top of them and make sure you're constantly coaching. People, the right team behind you love to learn. and they always want to grow. You want people around you that want to grow. Now, you don't want the person that says, I want to be doing this for the same exact thing for the next 20 years. We're outside of that generation. That was our parents' generation where they could show up for work 9 to 5 for 50 years and then retire. That's not us no more. We know that. We're constantly evolving, constantly trying to get to the next spot. So build that team around you to match what you want to do.
Well said.
Oh,
Well
let me
said.
stop. Let me stop.
No,
let me
whatever.
stop. Let me stop my head getting these Sorry,
All right, well, that is it for now. Thank you for watching and listening. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel down below. It's never going to be where you point. It's just not going to be there.
Why can't it be there?
I'm going to have to now. I guess it's going to be right there. Subscribe right there. And until next time, peace.